गोभिर्विशतां तमिस्रं पुनः पुनश्चर्वितचर्मणानां न ते विदुस्वार्थगतिं हि विष्णुं दुराशयाये बहिरर्थमानिनाम् अन्धायतान्धैरुपनीयमानास् तेऽपि स्वतन्त्रा मुरुदां निबद्धा. These unfortunate persons do not know that the real goal of life is to get out of this material world and to serve Vishnu in the spiritual world. And therefore, they are mad after political leaders who are equally absorbed in material life. They do not realize that by following either this leader or that leader, they are simply chewing the chewed, repeating the same problem of life under this ism or that ism. Actually, the only leader who can solve their problem is Krishna or Krishna's representative. Therefore, we have chosen as the theme of this Pandal discourses the real leader, Krishna. Actually, the only hope for these unfortunate persons is to smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees like your divine grace. Prabhupada considered my desire and the opportunities for preaching and decided to go. As Tamal Krishna wrote in his diary, Prabhupada was very eager to go to Bombay. He wanted to give the citizens of Bombay a true conception of the essential nature of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada had Tamal Krishna phone me to give me the theme of the Pandal. The modern civilization is a failure. The only hope is Krishna consciousness. On March 18, Tamal Krishna sent a telegram from Krishnanagar. Prabhupada arriving Tuesday 22nd IC 273 at 1350. Have rooms ready in whatever condition, Tamal Krishna. When Prabhupada landed in Bombay, he was too weak to walk down the stairs from the plane. So at the airport staff arranged for him to be lowered by a hydraulic lift. On the ground, the disciples with him assisted him in walking. Responding to Harishori's surprise, he had even decided to travel. Prabhupada said, yes, even up to the last night, there was no chance of my coming, but still, somehow or other, we are here. And he was happy to see the devotees waiting to receive him. On the way to the temple, Harisori informed Prabhupada that his new quarters were not yet ready. Therefore, there was no toilet or running water, no doors or windows, and the workers were still finishing the walls and floors. Nonetheless, Prabhupada insisted that he would move in, which made the devotees who knew the conditions there quite anxious. They didn't see how anyone could possibly live in the quarters in the state they were in. Anybody would like to read?
So what can we, any points we discuss here?
One thing is, Prabhu, I mean, despite of Prabhupada's frail health, I mean, he still decided to come to Bombay from Mayapur. So,
Yeah, see, that is something amazing, no? How Prabhupada is willing to stretch. Uh, he always had that in the heart, the core of his heart, that I should do this seva for the pleasure of Krishna. How many difficulties he had to endure, how many pains he has to go through. The more we think of it, the more we realize what a great acharya we have. It's not so easy to be like that. Selflessness is one thing. The other thing is nobody is helping him in the beginning days, and those who are trying to help, he saw Krishna sending them, and even then, the other problem is that they were also not equipped enough. They had their own challenges in terms of their own determined. They were very determined to serve Krishna, serve Krishna and serve Prabhupada. But at the same time, there was a lot of misunderstandings, different culture people. Just imagine if you have to get into a company, there is so much of scrutiny. Scrutiny is there. Very 3, 4 rounds of interviews, 5 rounds of interviews, and after that they take you in. Then after you are taken in, also you have to take some time to prove 6 months, 8 months, whatever time, or 1 year. And after doing that, also you have to go through so many challenges. But Prabhupada He just texts people, whoever is coming, come on, you come and join the movement. Come on, join the thing, start doing preaching here. Like we saw, one person came from Amsterdam. Prabhupada just asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, I'm studying my architecture course." Prabhupada said, "You will be the chief architecture of the Juhu temple." If somebody is giving that kind of a job opportunity, who will refuse to take it? Huh? Just comparing the two, how Prabhupada, there's so much faith he had. I think that's where the whole thing is, how we are, how we see the service given by Krishna. So Prabhupada has been extremely merciful and adventurous. He didn't have anything to, that's why he said, the kind of adventure that I do, normal people cannot do because I'm doing it for Krishna. So others cannot do. Let's carry on further. Any other points we can always share. Who wants to read now? Anyone? Swapna Mataji or anyone else?
Prabhuji, I'm on mobile.
All of you are mobile. Okay, fine. Let me read then. Anjan Prabhu, you can read.
Uh, can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Uh, starting with Hare Krishna land, right? Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna land was teeming with activity. Under Surabhi's direction, 200 workers plied their construction skills throughout the complex. Some cutting redstone slabs to cover the concrete superstructure of the guest house, and others chipping away with hammers and chisels to make ornate columns and arches for the temple. Masons and interior finishers working on the theater area. Although much work had been done, much remained. The guest house did not yet have windows or doors, what to speak of curtains or furniture, and the temple itself was pretty much an unfinished structure. Should I stop here or continue, Prabhu?
No, continue, Prabhu. Two, three more paragraphs.
Sure, Prabhu. As had been decided earlier, upon arriving, Chitrakara drove Prabhupada's car past the twin towers towards his old quarters at the rear of the property. As they passed the towers, Prabhupada turned silently and watched them go by, then looked straight ahead. A group of devotees with mridangas and kartals were outside the apartment building performing kirtan, and some of the brahmacharinis, celibate female students, stood ready to throw flower petals before Prabhupada as he walked from his car and up the stairs to his apartment. Other devotees were ready upstairs with paraphernalia to perform his foot bathing ceremony and arati. Much of the day had been spent cleaning his rooms, which were now decorated with garlands and scented with incense.
So I really like this line. Something very deep in this. As they pass the towers, Prabhupada is actually driving by the car. As they pass the towers, Prabhupada turned silently and watched them go by, then looked straight ahead. Something triggers any thoughts? I really like these lines. When he is driving Prabhupada's car past the twin towers towards the old quarters and the rear of the property. As they pass the towers, these are the towers that are standing now, right? The two towers. I think one is Gauranga Tower and another is that, or the another one is Prabhupada Tower, I think. I hope so. Gauranga Tower, I know for sure. And yeah, the other is that's where Prabhupada's quarters, my room is there. Anything strikes you? Swapna Mataji, yesterday only we were discussing that shloka with you and Harsha Mataji in the car.
Prabhuji, I'm not remembering.
Anyway, it's okay. See, these are built at the rear of the property, right? And he watches them goes by, and then he looks straight ahead. So I just connected with my experience today. As I was climbing up the sharp hill, there were some very dangerous points where it is slippery, and you have to climb up. Well, down also it is very risky, but it will just slip off, and you will just have to roll down or whatever. And while climbing up, it was even more risky because one small step will come down. But then many years ago, actually, Ganapati Maharaj taught me this lesson when we were doing climbing in the Grand Canyon. Um so at that time, he said, we're climbing up. On the way back, we're climbing up. Because canyon means go down and then come up. Mountain is up and down. So, so when we were doing that, I was like, uh, I was looking up and I was looking down. Hands started, our legs will start shaking when you look down, because one slip and you're gone. So Maharaj told me that when you're climbing up, you should only look ahead. You should never look down. And when you're climbing down, also only you should only look ahead, not behind. So that is a very important lesson because when we are going forward in our life, there's so many things, disappointments, failures, or anything else, unfavorable things that might have happened, very painful situations that would have happened. We can't forget them so easily. But then at the end of the day, we have to uh, leave them out and then look forward, look ahead. So I just remembered that Prabhupada just saw that, yes, we built that. So what? I'm going to just absorb myself or forget myself in the glory, self glorification, or just, yes, I built it, I built it. No, that is gone. You just have to look ahead. Keep looking ahead for anything. Yesterday was gone. You had a nice program, whatever. Today, again, another thing is there. You have to go forward. If in Krishna consciousness, we always go forward. Our life itself actually should be going forward, but more specifically in Krishna consciousness, should always go ahead, look ahead, go forward. So that's why I was telling this sloka yesterday while we were driving in the car. Maharaj used to quote this very beautiful, simple words, but very beautiful verse. Gade shokona kartavya, what is gone, you don't meditate on it. Bhavishyam na chintaya, don't keep thinking about too far ahead, what will happen 10 years later, 20 years later. Vartamaneshu kaleshu, be in present, today, right now, what I am doing. So when I was climbing, I was saying this step is what is the most important step now. I don't look at top also, I don't look down also. Maharaj told us that when you are going up, you should not look at how far is the thing up. Because the mountain had people, there are some more people coming from a different direction, and I was going in a different direction. Mine was more of a very difficult climb, and these other people were coming from a different. If I go in that direction, I will go somewhere else. It's a totally opposite direction. I can't even come to the my starting point. So when I was going up, I was looking at the top. It was too steep, and those people are easily climbing up. But their way is not mine. I cannot go in that way. So I had to go in only one way. And because people have walked so many times, it is even though there is no proper steps, it has created such a nice path because with the trees around, you have to catch hold of trees and climb actually. Very little less trees are there. So I was thinking, when I looked at top, I was like thinking, how are we going to climb there? But then I looked at that, okay, next stone is there. I should only put there my leg because I cannot go down anyway. After coming halfway through, going down is very difficult thing. But then while coming back, I was coming step by step, slowly only that way. But then going up, you could only look at the next step, next step, next step. That much only you should go. And slowly you climb and you reach the top thing. I mean to say in life, it is the same thing. We should be like, only look at what is going to be next half a day, what we are going to do. That way, if we can keep meditating on, then definitely it is possible to achieve something substantial in our life. So that's why it really struck me that as they passed the towers, Prabhupada turned silently and watched them go by. He did not speak much about his things and all. Maybe we have done this, we have done that. No. So they just went by. Okay, now another thing is there. Mumbai is one of the important projects, of course, but it's not the only project. He had so many other projects for which there were so many other challenges also. But the beautiful thing is when you are surrendered to Krishna, you can surpass all these difficult situations, terrible situations. So let's move ahead. Anything else from anyone? Okay, let's move on.
Can I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
When the car pulled up to the old three-story building, the other devotees got out and retrieved the luggage from the trunk and brought it upstairs to the apartment while Prabhupada sat in the car. When everything was ready, one of the devotees opened Prabhupada's door and informed him, but Prabhupada won't budge. "Why have you brought me here?" he asked.
1 minute, Prabhu. So they are going to the old three-story building. This is not in the temple. This is not the temple guest house, right? It's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to really turn interesting. Let's hear this out. Okay. So Prabhupada says, why you brought me here? That old three-story building is a different place. But Prabhupada wanted them to build the temple quickly, right? Let's read further.
Chitrakara repeated what other devotees had already told Prabhupada. "Your quarters aren't ready yet, Srila Prabhupada. They will take a few more days to finish." "This is not my house," Prabhupada said. My quarters are there in the tower. I will never stay in this apartment again. Call Surabhi Swami, take me to my new quarters." He spoke calmly but firmly, without raising his voice, but everyone could tell that he wasn't happy. So the devotees put all the luggage back into the trunk and Chitrakara turned back to the guest house. As they were driving, Surabhi came running up alongside the car. "Why are my quarters not ready?" Prabhupada asked through the open window. Running to keep pace, Surabhi said that he needed a few more days to finish and asked if Prabhupada could please stay at his old apartment until then. "You do what I say," Prabhupada shouted. "If I don't go there now, it will never be finished. I want to go now."
Do you
Yes,
remember? Do you remember another instance where Prabhupada did the same thing? It was earlier. You must be remembering this. It was when the devotees were all living in a very difficult situation. The roof it's just a temporary roof, and then rain water was flowing, and then lizard and cockroach were all falling into the food, and they were living in a very difficult situation, a very, very terrible situation. And Prabhupada said if they had another place, they got another room from that one person who was living there, and they said, Prabhupada, you can live there. And Prabhupada said, I'm going to come there, you clean it up. The devotees were not getting, no, actually first Prabhupada said to the devotees, you please get this place ready for us, please the Matajis, the ladies. But they were taking more time. Then Prabhupada said, I am going to stay there, please get it ready. Within one day they cleaned everything. And then after they cleaned everything, Prabhupada said, now you all please go and live there. Right? How kind Prabhupada was, right? Yeah, please continue. How nice Prabhupada is here. I want to go now, he's shouting.
yes, Srila Prabhupada, said Surabhi, and he rushed off to see if he could get the elevator working.
Nowadays, the elevators are there. We are easily going there. Those days, getting the elevator to work for Prabhupada. Anyway.
Meanwhile, the devotees who had assembled at Prabhupada's old apartment ran to be with him as he entered his new quarters. Surabhi couldn't get the elevator to work, so the devotees carried Prabhupada in a narrow palanquin up the five flights of stairs.
It's the fifth floor, actually. When you go, even now, when you go to the Juhu temple, Prabhupada's quarters is on the 5th floor. You go there and you will see all his paraphernalias, and it's this beautiful place. It is how nicely they have constructed, If at all our movement is surviving, it's because of that dedication to Prabhupada. Everywhere you can see how nicely they have preserved everything. His shoes and his stove and his different box and his that rocking chair and everything. And it's amazing to sit there and chant actually. Please continue.
The quarters were cluttered, and the floor was covered with a thick layer of greasy, gooey marble polish. There were 20 workers polishing the floors and another 40 hammering away at the paneling. And in the midst of it all, the devotees came rushing in with mridangas, kartals, and paraphernalia.
Hmm.
The workers stopped and just stood there, unsure what to do.
Hmm.
There was no furniture or place for Prabhupada to sit, but he got down from the palanquin, walked into the main room, looked around, indicated a nearby space, and said, I will sit here. And he began to sit down, right in all the muck on the stone floor. But Surbi quickly took off his chadar, found a somewhat drier corner, and threw it down beneath him. Then Prabhupada said, now you can do what you like.
Amazing, no, Prabhupada. Every statement is like, every moment with Prabhupada is like an adventure. Anything you do, you just you get it ready now. Now I'm going to sit here, you do whatever you want. For imagine, I found Acharya is having this important service of writing Bhagavatam, composing Bhagavatam, and dealing with all the devotees and various temples, writing letters and everything. And he's sitting in a half-finished tower and no place to sit. He's just on the ground. Hmm. So in that
Can I
tower
read?
only they are doing the Guru Puja. Let's read that next paragraph.
Surabhi bathed Prabhupada's feet and then offered arati. Although he was so nervous that he kept fumbling with the ghee lamp and the flame kept going out, while devotees sang Sri Guru Charana Padma, trying to avoid slipping on the greasy floor. It was really ecstatic, Ambika remembered. It was so far out that we were in Prabhupada's new apartment in all this slush. We were jumping up and down, slipping and sliding, and we had this ecstatic kirtan for Srila Prabhupada, and he was smiling and throwing flowers at us just as if he had been in a beautiful palace. It was amazing to see Prabhupada sitting there on the floor in the middle of it all so nicely. Some devotees began washing the floor, and others ran to find serviceable pieces of furniture to provide Prabhupada with a desk, seat, and bed. Prabhupada just sat cross legged and directed the devotees. I want the table there, and the bed there, this goes over there, and the bureau over there, and I want the kitchen things over there. It was really funny, Vijayata recalled, because everybody forgot their position in the society. That I am a sannyasi or I am a Mataji. I am the temple commander. I am the president. I am a book distributor. The only thing anyone could remember was I am Srila Prabhupada's servant and he is giving instructions. It was
This is such an
amazing.
amazing realization. No? If only we do all this, forgetting our positions, Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam, Tat Paratven Nirmalam, Rishike and Rishikesha Sevanam, Bhaktiruchate. And there is another beautiful verse, Alam Niranjanam, Utapuna Shashvata Bhadram Ishware, Nacharpitam Karma Yadapya Karanam. That Niranjanam is a beautiful word. Niranjanam means you forget all your positions, designations, achievements, and all that. So, there is a beautiful feeling, beautifully realized by Maharaja. No, Vijata, right? Yes, please, let's continue.
Absolutely. It was amazing. I saw Mother Aditya giving instructions to Tamal Krishna Goswami. She was handing things to him and telling him, this goes over there, and he'd run and put it over there. It was really incredible watching all this going on. It was great. Surabhi had been saying that it would take at least another 2 weeks to finish Prabhupada's quarters. But with all the devotees and the construction crew there, and inspired by Prabhupada's presence, we accomplished in 2 hours what might have taken weeks.
That's the beauty of, that's the potency of Acharya. Yes, Chitra Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, exactly this point. I mean, I just thought ki if Prabhupada, I mean, I don't know what we call it, this dominating nature, or he was very, whatever he wanted. And if it was not that way, then these things wouldn't have finished on time, right? Meaning, so how, I mean, I don't know, how should we take it?
No, see, it's like this. Uh, Guru has to be strict when he has to be strict. And
Okay.
second thing is, Guru's job is to make sure we go beyond what we think is our capacity.
Hmm.
We have to leave our comfort zone.
Yeah.
We have to leave our comfort zone and try to stretch ourselves beyond what we think is our capacity. Our capacity is determined by Guru and Krishna, not by us.
Hmm.
So that is
Yeah.
why this movement could go so fast.
Yes. Thank you.
So, and second thing is, Prabhupada also knows that when he is there, he can he can make things run fast, because people will do. See, this is where, Mataji, it makes a lot more interesting point to think or contemplate also, because when Prabhupada was there, everybody achieved in 10 years what could have taken normally 50 years to do.
Correct. Hmm.
But the moment he left, it went through a lot of challenges. But you can see that things, those who think that the departure of the Guru does not mean that he has left, but he is present even more strongly with us. So the inspiration should continue. The inspiration to do our seva should continue for the pleasure of the spiritual master. That is why the Juhu temple got completed just 2 months after Prabhupada's departure. On November 14th, I think Prabhupada departed, and Jan 14 it was open. 14 or 15 it was open, right? You can see as soon as Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj also, he left in June, right? May or June? I think June.
May, June during rainy season.
No, it's May. It's May.
May.
Because I remember the first week of May when I was in Juhu, I heard about this, and within 1 week, Maharaj left. So you see, Kharghar temple opened within 6 months after that. It was to have been opened by September, but little couple of months, 2-3 months later, it got done. This is Jan 15, it was open. How beautifully it has been completed. So it takes a lot of grit and efforts to actually get things done in the apparent physical absence of the spiritual master. And that's what it shows here. That Prabhupada said, at that time, Prabhupada thought that they are not probably able to do it when Prabhupada is not around. So he made sure that I will be here so that it runs fast, because he knew that he is not going to live longer. See, this is what, around the Jan, Feb, March time frame, and that the same year, November, Prabhupada left. So it's only 6 months between this, what we are reading now, and Prabhupada's last day. Right? So Prabhupada knew that he is going to leave. So he has to somehow or other get as much as possible done when he was there. That's this transcendental desire for Krishna. How much he struggled for Krishna's building this temple for Krishna. How much he really, really gone through. We have seen it over the thing, and still it will continue some more.
Mm.
So it is actually when Prabhupada's determination was like the Dhruva Maharaj's determination.
Yeah.
Just like Dhruva Maharaj was not willing to listen to Narad Muni, his own guru also. Prabhupada was not willing to listen to his disciples. I am going to be here. You do whatever you want. I want this to be done fast. And that's the inconceivable mercy of Prabhupada. Today,
Yeah.
everybody if Maharaj was able to remember this bit by bit and write this, that's that's the extent to which he was serving Srila Prabhupada. They were all serving Srila Prabhupada. Say he could remember everything by his mercy. Let's read further.
Yeah, also one more point, Prabhuji, here
Yes,
we
Madam.
have to, for me at least, it is so important that as as our guru and acharyas know us better than us, so whatever instructions they give us, we have to be up to the mark to follow that instructions because they know us better, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Whatever we can do, we can do. It's nothing to worry about. So that is everywhere you can see things happening, right? So able to do.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Let's read, yeah. This next paragraph is very interesting.
Surabhi had been saying that it would take at least another 2 weeks to finish Prabhupada's quarters. Oh, I think we read this.
This we read, but I marveled at Prabhupada's potential, the devotees surrendered service. It's very important, Because Prabhupada, this is the beauty of an acharya, and when they are there, I've seen when our spiritual master, Swamis Maharaj, when he was there, we could extend so much. We could hardly sleep 2 hours, that too just in the night. Sometimes you would not even do that. So much, we whole day will be running around one place to another place to another place, program after program after program. Then we'll do Bhagavatam. After program also we'll sit with Maharaj and do something. So much prasadam to prepare for the devotees and so many people to take care of. But we never felt tired. We in fact felt even more inspired by his presence, and that is the spiritual potency. Spiritual master. Now let's read further.
The quarters were not completely finished, but at least Prabhupada could move in, and very quickly the devotees cleaned the quarters and made them livable for him. I marveled at Prabhupada's potency, and the devotees surrendered service. Observing the entire scene with a satisfied look, Prabhupada smiled at everyone and said, "Thank you very much."
Where will you get such a loving spiritual master? Huh? Amazing. Yes, let's go further.
Here is another angle, Prabhuji. He also gave everybody an opportunity to serve and please their spiritual master.
Yeah. And remember, Prabhu, when we are remembering all these things, they are remembering all these things and sharing because of its purity, the pure love between the spiritual master and the acharya and the disciples. We also get inspired, isn't it? When you do some seva, we feel Prabhupada is sitting there and smiling at our effort.
Prabhuji, I have a question here. What we have been discussing is like, what I understand is like it is easy for us to extend when our spiritual master physically is there. But how do we do that when we have to do the Vani Seva, Prabhuji? The Vapu Seva, what we hear is, you also gave example of Param Puja Mahavishnu Maharaj and Prabhupada here we see. So that's what I understood. So
the one thing what I've seen, like now it is 15 years since Mahavishnu Maharaj also left his body, right? Actually, what I see is that the more we remember his instructions, the more we try to serve those instructions, the more we will feel very close to the spiritual master. The material situations will disturb us. It will push us down, really. It will really, really push us down. There are times that we will not be able to do anything. So, but that's where we should remember the instructions more strongly, Prabhu. I've seen time and again that that's the one thing that really helps. And we should actually try to not only just meditate on the instruction, but how we can fulfill. That will be really helpful in inspiring us. Hmm. That's nice question. Thank you so much for that. And the experience that we have, rasavarjam rasopyasya, when we get that experience, it's really amazing. Like I felt when I got to the top of the hill. I never felt I would go to top. I thought first this one shivling is there, some Hanumanji picture is there, and one flag is there. It's just a walking. You can easily walk there, kind of. So when I went there, I was thinking, okay, this is the end of it. Then I saw, hey, something is going even further. Then I asked one person, where this going? The oh janda bahut dur hai. I don't know which janda is talking about. Already this janda is there. Then what happened? I was walking and walking, and suddenly I saw this big top mountain. There one flag was there on the top of the hill. Then I saw some of the people who are coming from the other side and skimming and enjoying the presence. Because I took the little this thing to go there, I saw the beautiful sunset. I just reached there just before sunset, 15 minutes before sunset. It was beautiful wind. So then when I reached that point, I felt so pleased because you have reached there, kind of. I could have easily taken a step and said, oh, what's the point? Let's just go back. It's enough to come up to here. But that is something that experience you get, like we see the devotees here, so many of them today. The book distribution prize ceremony was there. Everybody was like so amazingly serving last few months, and the result is so nice. We have to be very thankful to Prabhupada for giving us this platform where we can experience this essence of transcendence among us. Isn't it, Anjan Prabhu?
Yes, Swami.
Can I add something here, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
So, I went for the service today in temple. So, everybody getting prizes, and Maharaj gave everybody prizes. But I was back there in the kitchen. I could observe that. Since morning, some devotees from 5:30 a.m. they were preparing the prasadam. So I could, find out. The devotees who had prepared the sabji, the sweet, and the rice. They were working so hard. It's like they don't come out and then they don't get the prize, but the Krishna is rewarding them their own thing. And there are two aspects I was just trying to see, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Something really amazing. Hanumanji also was doing this, no? He would never come in front of the Lord for any being praised or glorified. He would just want, I just want seva. I don't want the results of the seva. The result of seva, if it is more seva, I can accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Yeah, let's read further. Who wants to read now?
Can I, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Observing the entire scene with a satisfied look, Prabhupada smiled at everyone and said, "Thank you very much." Then most of the devotees left. And Prabhupada met with 9 or 10 of his leaders and personal staff. We all sat with our heads hanging down. Sarva Bhavana recalled. We expected a thunderstorm from Prabhupada because his quarters were so messy and noisy. Prabhupada had his head hanging down also. We sat like this for several minutes in pin drop silence. Time lost all meaning. Finally, Prabhupada raised his head and spoke in a soft and tender voice. "All of you are trying so hard to please this old man who gets irritated so fast. I am old, and on top of that I am unwell. So little things irritate me. But all of you are so tolerant." He went on like that for about 10 minutes. Sarva Bhavana said, I thought I was the only one who was crying. But then I looked around, I saw that everyone had tears in their eyes, including Prabhupada. It was so sweet, so wonderful. How can you not love such a person? Very bold.
Amazing, no? This
Yeah.
is why we should read this book. This Maharaj just brought that picture in front of us, that scene in front of us. And one side Prabhupada is so heavy, and when he see the mood of the devotee is very guilty feeling and all that. Uh, it's so nice, and this is what we hanker for, Prabhu's Mataji. Actually, when we have that kind, at the end of the day, all this appreciation, everything is all much inferior compared to the experiencing that love. How much, the, how much the spiritual master is loving us. Then all this Vani Seva, Vapu Seva, everything will be equal, Gaurav Prabhu. There won't be any difference at all. See, I was amazed. I can share in this group. I don't want to share it with anyone else. I think maybe I don't know. If I shared it with Gaurav, Prabhu, I don't know if I served you. Sorry, shared it with you. One of the devotees actually got a dream of Mahavishnu Maharaj. He has not even seen Maharaj. He has not even uh, when seen or spoken to Maharaj, or he has not had any interaction with Maharaj. He's a Jayaprada Maharaj disciple. He lives in London. He got to know of Maharaj only in 2015 when we went there, and he saw that Maharaj calendar when we gifted, and he was really appreciative of it and all that. His name is Achutarupa Prabhu. He's in this group also, our Bhagavad Vichar group. And he called me about a week ago. And I did tell you, Gaurav Prabhu? I told you. Yeah, I told you.
I heard the recording as well, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I think I shared it. I sent a voice message of it. He said he got a dream of Maharaj giving a class suddenly in the early morning time. And Maharaj was giving the class in a place. And suddenly he was looking for me. Where is Kalacakra? Like that, And then that just stopped. And then another place he was seeing that I was giving a class and devotees were all sitting and listening, big place, an open space. And he was standing and he was listening, he was seeing the class, listening from way behind. And then suddenly he saw Maharaj coming in a car and getting down. And as soon as I saw, I just went down and uh, I come rushing to Maharaj. And then I was also having tears, and Maharaj also having tears. He was hugging me, and I was hugging him, falling down at his feet, and seeing that he and all the devotees were also very inspired. Like that, he was telling something, but I was thinking, why Maharaj did not come in my dream? He came in his dream. He is maybe more pure in his heart. He was so dedicated and surrendered to Maharaj, even though he had not seen him or this thing. So he's reading from Bhagavatam so sincerely. But the beauty is that what he mentioned was very much moving to me, that when a spiritual master has this exchange with someone, it actually inspires everyone around also. So that is the purity of the spiritual master. Because it feels like this incident is happening to everyone else also, not just to this one person. What that person is experiencing, that devotee is experiencing, everyone else will experience it. So it's very deep, the message that he shared. It somewhat it I mean, so many years we have struggled because we don't have that reciprocation so much nowadays, And when we hear this kind of a thing, we wonder, really, Maharaj, the spiritual, when Prabhupada said that when the spiritual master comes in anybody's dream, or a saintly person comes in the dream, it is not a dream. It's actually it's a true thing. It's a real thing. It's not a dream, just a temporary false thing. It's a real thing. Because they must have been meditating on Maharaj for much longer time, and so more purely. So Prabhupada also comes in different devotees' dreams, And even in Vyas Puja, one of the devotee shared, one disciple, couple of his own is Radhanath Maharaj, they have not even seen Mahavishnu Maharaj. But they are actually, I think they are seniors, they are counselors also, I think, but they are living in the US somewhere. And so these devotees are connected with this Maharaj disciple, Mahavishnu Maharaj disciple. His name is Rasika Bhuvi Prabhu. So he shared this thing that one day they actually came rushing to him and said, "Your Maharaj came in our dream," and they said they actually he laid out the plan. He told exactly what we have to do for the next 15 years. He laid out the plan for the next 15 years for us. This thing you do this year, this thing you do in this year, like that. So they were so relaxed and peaceful that now we don't have to worry about it for the rest of life. He is given the complete plan to us. And where is Maharaj? They have not even seen him or interacted with him, and he's left also. And he coming in the dream and giving them the instructions to. Then this Prabhuji was saying so nicely. I was thinking, why Maharaj didn't come in my dream? I'm his disciple, but instead coming in others' dream. So he thought that he thought to himself that it's because they are very sincerely and seriously they're studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's the connection they have. You know, you don't get dreams of someone whom you are not connected with, right? If I'm not connected with someone living in somewhere, or I don't know somebody, how will they come in my life? Somewhere in some life it will be connected, and that connection has to be transcendental. It's not just a mundane thing. How can you not love such a person? Okay, let's read the next paragraph and end for today's discussion.
Prabhupada was pleased with the quarters. No one can design like Surabhi Maharaj, he said, and he spent the night there.
Just one moment before he was Prabhupada was shouting at him, and again he's encouraging him. Right? You have experiences left, right, and center with our Guru Maharaj also. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
But the next day, he agreed to move to Kartikeya Mahadeviya's home for a week to attend the Bombay Pandal program and to give Surabhi enough time to ready the quarters, which he and I promised Prabhupada would be completely by the time would be completed by the time the Pandal program was over. At the end of the month, I was relieved that he was giving us more time to prepare his facilities and happy that he would be comfortable and conveniently situated at Kartikeya's place.
Let's continue 2 more paragraphs, I think. No, where are we? It's going further. We'll stop here.
Okay.
Yeah, I had arranged for large banners that from there on we will read from our next session. Any comments, any thoughts before we close, any realizations? The spiritual master's mercy is fully visible in these few pages which we read now. And Prabhupada also was in tears. That's amazing thing, how much and he's telling in such a humble way, I am an old man, my body is not helping, I'm irritated so fast. Actually, it's all not that. He has to tell that. He's tell that way out of humility. Like Bhishma Dev, instructing his disciple, instructing the Pandavas in his last moments. Prabhupada was also, doing that in his last days. How much more thankful we should be for Prabhupada's mercy. Let's all pray that whatever time left in our life, we will, with full velocity and force, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, as Maharaj would say, we'll serve our spiritual master and spiritual Srila Prabhupada to the best of our ability, and leave the world happily and peacefully. Because we have to leave the legacy for the next generations to follow. If we cannot do that, there's no use of our living in this world. Actually, I was looking at those trees in that mountain. Those trees didn't have any leaves, very hardly any dry leaves were there. no fruits, no flowers, nothing was there when I was climbing that difficult place, But then I thought that even to some way we ignore them, that these are of no use. But then while climbing, they were the ones which are actually acting like the most important, the support to hold. So we all have. I felt that we all have some use in this, in the family that Prabhupada has created. Somewhere will be useful. Some small nut or bolt for the whole engine to function. And we should be happy that, like how the trees or the rivers are flowing, trees are standing, like that we can also, whatever we are, we just to be happy and peaceful and enjoy the mercy. Enjoy the mercy of the Vaishnavas, Guru, Prabhupada, and Krishna. And that will be the best way we can. That will be the way we can be successful in our life. We can leave this world in a most successful way. Let's stop with that. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada jai. Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nataputi Vaishnava Dhariyanta Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasandubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Shambhyo Namaha. Jai Nataputi Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you so much. And for Narad Muni's thing, I will let you know the next week or so when we can. This coming Friday is as soon as Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj's Titi Vais Thirobhav. So we'll try to plan something maybe over the weekend or so. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. We'll see you all soon.
Thanks so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Last
Hare
few
Krishna
words.
Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Hare
So,
Krishna.
thank you so
Yes.
much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.